Now, as we all know, it doesn't matter what you do these days when you apply to a job, you're not doing it right, especially if you're working with recruiters. They just can't stop rejecting people. I've rejected great candidates just because of how they sounded on the phone. Not because they weren't qualified, not because they didn't have the right experience, but because they came across as dry, low energy, and disengaged. Here's the reality. Thanks, ChatGPT. First impressions matter. It makes the recruiter wonder if you'd show up disengaged on the job. Energy equals interest, and interest gets you moved forward. And then he says, candidates, how do you make sure your personality comes through over the phone? So if you're nervous, introverted, sorry. Maybe English isn't your first language if that's what the interview's in. Sorry. They are the gatekeepers. So you better smile and be excited. Here's another one. Breaking news, your name might be doing better in interviews than you are. According to a new study from Carleton University, recruiters subconsciously favor smooth-sounding names like Liam, Renee, or Noel, and think names like Tate or Krista sound more extroverted. Great, now the sound of your name is what's getting you qualified. And I love how we're limited. Just a few names here. So if you have any name that's not generic United States, what do you even do? Thanks, Mom and Dad. I appreciate it. Recruiters are subconsciously preferring other people now. What do you even do? Your consonants have officially entered the chat. Somewhere out there, a hiring manager is thinking, Noel just sounds like she'd be great at teamwork. Meanwhile, Tate's like, I literally have 10 years of experience. But let's be real. Hiring success usually comes down to a wild mix of competence, timing, and a sprinkle of luck. And plus maybe whether the recruiters had their coffee or not. You could be the best person for the job, but the recruiter, I hope they call you before they've had their coffee, right? Here's another one. I rejected a senior data architect today. 12 years of experience, ex-Amazon. You mean Amazon alumni? That's what they call people now that get fired or laid off. Or promoted to customer, rather. 12 years of experience. Master of Python and SQL on paper. But as soon as I clicked that LinkedIn profile link, I saw a ghost town. No photo. The headline, data at confidential. About section, empty. Experience section, confidential. I can't sell ghosts to a hiring manager. It looked too mysterious to be credible. For goodness sake, this is 2025. Your experience doesn't count if it isn't visible. Unfair? Maybe. Reality? Absolutely. And this is one of the great things about LinkedIn is that you can just be anything you want. Anyway, you can be the CEO of LinkedIn and Google and Apple and Microsoft and Amazon and the chief executive intern at all of those companies and the assistant to the vice president of the regional manager if you want. You can be anyone. You can even give yourself skills in having skills. You can make other accounts and leave recommendations for each other. You know, it's totally realistic and practical. People just want a job. They don't want to have to sign up for all this stuff. Again and again, we see that it doesn't matter what you do or don't do, you're getting rejected. I mean, if you sound a certain way on the phone, rejected. If your name doesn't have a certain consonant, rejected. If your LinkedIn profile doesn't have information because you can't give it, rejected. But let's say you don't get rejected and you're just following up. Well, apparently you can't do that. I'd never say, I'm just following up on my application. It lowers your status and screams, I need this job. Neither of which is a good look, especially if you need that job. Every follow-up is an opportunity to position yourself as the top choice, but 99% of candidates will say, I'm just following up. I mean, what else are you supposed to be saying? Hi, I just wanted to drop you a message after our interview. I'm still very interested, although as I mentioned, I'm exploring a few other options on my end, so was wondering where we're gonna go from here. All the best and speak soon. Oh yeah, just tell the people you're following up with that you're actually thinking about other people, so you better hurry up. That's great advice. Probably seems like more of a threat to the company. They don't want to play games if you're just following up. They're probably not going to play any games with you until they give you an offer. Then maybe you could pull something like this out. But let's say you get the interview. Well, this is what you have to deal with. I give every candidate the same test before hiring. Send me an email by end of day tomorrow. List 3 DTC brands you admire and why. It's a simple task with a clear deadline, and 40% of people don't do it. They're automatically out, rejected, no second interview. Because if you can't follow through on some basic work on your own free time, when you're trying to get the job, you definitely won't follow through when you have the job. People don't want to do extra work in their free time for free to potentially get a job. Your resume tells me nothing about your performance. A great interview tells me you can talk. This test tells me if a yes is actually a yes. Character isn't something you can coach. Yes, it is. What do you mean? Either someone does what they say or they don't. Test it early with something obvious, then believe what they show you. Can't people just interview and show what they can do in the interview. And can't that be enough? Why does it have to be so much? But what do you think? How's the job market treating you? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to see me call out more corporate nonsense like this. And if you're tired of dealing with this nonsense, then check out my link in the description, joshuafluke.store, where I offer resume reviews, custom crafted resumes to your specific skill set and where you want to go, some courses, and some consulting if you're interested. We've had a lot of success with people of all backgrounds, and it's been nice to see. So check them out, joshuafluke.store. Thanks so much to myself for sponsoring myself today. And having said all that, I hope everyone is doing really well, and I'll see you in the next one.